sad that you watch the Lorcana Dads.
All right, good morning, everybody. It is
Hey,
Christmas Eve with the Lorcana Dads.
Merry Christmas.
Ho ho! I got my don't stop believing shirt on. You know, you got to believe, or
That's
hoping
right.
Santa leaves some Chapter 1 Target packs under the tree. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens. Maybe we'll have to rip some Christmas presents tomorrow.
I ripped too many of those boxes and
Yeah.
they weren't mine weren't as good as everybody else's was.
I got that dragon and be prepared, but
Yeah, I did get a dragon, so
I walked into GameStop yesterday and they had like 12 chapter ones and I was like, yes, I'm gonna buy all these. And then I flipped them over and they were $12 a pack and I was like,
yeah, that's
I'm
pretty
not
pricey.
spending $12 a pack just for the chance at an Elsa. I mean, because that's
Well,
really what we're doing at this point, right?
yeah. And
So
next month you get the Japanese and the Chinese packs.
yep,
So
Japanese and China, and you've got those ordered for us, which I'm
yeah,
excited about.
I've got a few boxes. I didn't splurge on a case, but I don't with the amount of packs that are in a box. I feel like if you hit an Elsa in the Japanese or the Chinese,
Uh-huh.
that it may be more expensive.
Yeah. Well, I think, do you think there'll be different quality cards? Like we think there'll be like one piece cards, maybe the thicker card stock, or do you think they're going to be just like these?
I'm not really sure based on, who's printing,
Gotcha.
but typically in the Japanese, or sorry, Pokemon,
Uh-huh.
they tend to be a little bit more better quality,
Better quality.
what I'm trying to say.
That's what I was thinking too.
But I'm not sure if but the Chinese Pokemon, they started looking pretty good.
I mean, are there two different types of Lorcana,
Yeah,
so we're getting some of each? Okay. Gotcha.
yeah, you'll have a Chinese available January 1st, and they're having two different types of boxes. I'm not really sure about like the proper breakdown, but you have what's called a light box, which has less packs, but you're guaranteed a foil, I think, in each pack. And then a regular box, which is more in line with like the Japanese.
Okay, so you're not guaranteed a foil in those boxes,
I don't
like
think so.
ours. When you say foil, you mean like how we get a foil in every pack?
Yeah, yeah,
They
cold
don't do
foil.
that.
I'm not really sure. Like I'm not.
But that also may mean the value of the foils in those may be more. We'll see.
That's what I'm saying is like if you're able to land an Elsa in the Japanese, it's probably going to be worth more than the English based
Okay,
on how much more difficult it would be to pull.
gotcha, gotcha. So we got a lot coming up in Lorcana over the next couple of months as we move into the new year. We've got a release. We've got the next two set titles released.
Yes.
The I'm not going to say there's an island, but I don't want to say the name wrong.
It's
Azurite,
yeah,
Azurite Island, maybe.
I should probably had this pulled up, but
I didn't have it pulled
looks
up
like we're
yet
getting
either.
Bolt in this set.
Yes, Bolt. If somebody seems to, there's a lot of talk about two color cards, but
Every
I just don't
set
see it coming. They keep
every
trying to
set
push it
somebody's got
every
a
set.
rumor.
No,
Every set somebody's got a rumor about dual color or
yeah,
colorless.
they're trying to will it into existence,
I
Jason.
think so.
But
And they're
what they
also
were
talking about,
saying, they were saying that Bolt's card looked like it had the elements of steel and the elements of amber. So
I mean, maybe it took Magic a while to get to colorless, and a lot of people don't like that
yeah,
because you're going to have certain cards that, like, there are good cards that you only see in certain colors right now.
right,
If you have a super good card that's colorless, you'll see it in every top meta deck.
true. The way I was understanding it, what the ones I was reading was trying to will it like, say a card is steel and amber.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean it has to be in a steel and amber deck. It has to be in either an amber or something or a steel something, which would be
right.
kind of cool. You know, you never know. Oh, I froze on you. Hold on.
Yeah,
There you go.
there
Sorry, you
you go.
still have audio during all that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's somebody tried to call me on the cell phone. Call me on your cell phone. Anyway. But yeah, I would like to see, we haven't seen Sing Together cards since that set.
Yeah, I think that goes to them trying to make so many sets at the same time
Yeah.
or near the same time. You're going to have a group of designers working on one set that aren't working on the other sets.
Yeah.
So apparently they didn't coordinate because, like you said, there's not the same kind of ideas. There's not very many good locations every
Right.
set either.
Yeah. Which is kind of good. It changes the ebb and flow of the game's been really good. I think but before we start talking about the new set, why don't we talk? We've also got, so we got the island set. Then we got, is it Jafar's Revenge? Is that what it's called? Or
Something
Jafar
like that.
or
Jafar's
Jafar
going to be
Returns
featured.
or
Yeah.
something. I mean, I think we're gonna a whole nother, multiplayer set like we got with Ursula. I think I was kind of expecting that they'd do a villain a year maybe
Yeah,
that
that's
gets
what everybody
something.
was kind of wondering whether it was going to be Hades or Jafar.
Yeah. Then we had the European
Yep.
Continentals. So we got the winner from that. We've
Yep.
got Australia has announced they will be having a tournament
Yeah, they're
before
getting
Worlds. So they're doing something to send some people to Worlds, which,
yes.
man, boy, would I love to travel and go to that one, but that ain't
Well, that's what a
happening.
lot of people are saying that, and it's kind of, I don't know, snarky, I guess. Just because they haven't had Lorcana locally doesn't mean that there's not good players there.
Yeah.
But that was some of the kind of, I don't know, the top players in the US and Europe were kind of talking about trying to go farm
Yeah.
Australia to get in, but
Yeah. Who
hopefully
knows?
they have a good showing.
Yeah. I feel like they will. There was a lot of hype around it.
Yeah.
But that, man, that'd be an expensive trip to make to play cards.
Yeah. Well, there are
Really?
some people in Europe. There's a content creator that is escaping my mind right now, their name. They're originally from New Zealand or
Okay.
Australia.
So he going home to visit for a little while.
They they were talking about they had traveled a few times and they wanted to play before the release of Australia, and it was hard to find anywhere to be able to play.
Gotcha.
So hopefully that scene gets a little going, and I hope we get a Asia market. I hope they have a lot of continentals, and
Yeah.
instead of just having North America and Europe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that shows that this product's not going anywhere. It keeps growing like this. I feel like I haven't bought as much lately, so I feel kind of bad, but been kind of broke, if you want me to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of trying to remember what it was like last year because Floodborne came out in November,
Hmm.
and it was hard to get Floodborne, so I didn't buy much then either. So it was usually around January or February last year that I really kind of bought more.
Yeah.
But
That seems right for me too.
the availability was so much this time that I bought what I needed.
Yeah.
The hobby store release and just been kind of. Plus, I really haven't had a whole lot of time to play around the holidays either.
Yeah.
I mean, the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas, everybody's taking their vacations at work, so I'm having to work or choosing to work weekends to make a little extra Christmas money.
Yeah.
But I
I've been
hope,
doing those Grinch parties in Atlanta, which it was crazy good money.
yes,
So I really enjoyed that. And we'll go ahead and leave my calendar wide open in December next year for her to book me
yeah,
as much as she wants to.
yeah.
So
Your Grinch costume was really
thank you.
one of the best I've seen on Facebook because you see
I
a lot of people doing
Yeah.
it. And
Next year I gotta make a
yours,
new one. I'm getting a little tight, getting a little snug in this one.
well, the face,
The prosthetic. Yep.
yeah, the prosthetic was like movie quality
Yep. I
versus,
order from a guy out of Virginia that I met through the Face Off TV show. I did a
yeah,
competition. So yeah, I get a good quality when I spend the money though, but that's why it looks good.
yeah. It looks
So
like the Jim Carrey version, like
that's the goal. That's the goal.
the way their rubber prosthetics for the Whoville and the Grinch look.
So
They look really good.
what do we have left before Worlds? We have US Continentals. When are
Yeah, you
those?
had the last chance qualifier on that Friday, and then the Continentals for the U.S.
Gotcha. And then Worlds, they haven't released the date, but we think it's in March.
Yeah, I haven't
in
really
It's in Disney
heard
World. I've seen some
concrete.
stuff about it. We know it's going to be in Disney World. I mean, where else would they
Yes.
put it?
Yeah.
Like,
So
so,
Disneyland's going to hold the Continentals for the U.S. or sorry, North America. It's not just
mhm.
U.S. You're in Mexico and Canada. So Disneyland holding Continentals, and then Disney World holding Worlds.
Yeah.
So that'd be a nice ticket to get if you can get that.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping I would like to go down there and spectate for Worlds because I've got my wife's family that lives in Lakeland outside some
Yeah.
Lakeland, and then my brother-in-law was playing. I don't know how much he's collecting. If you're watching, Sean, are you still keeping up with us? We used to be his morning ritual. He would get up and make his coffee and watch the Lorcana
Yeah.
Dads.
We've been slipping on making some of these videos, and I'm glad we're getting together
Yeah,
to
I
do
wanted
them.
one more before the end of the year, and then maybe we can hit it heavy. Start back in January, hitting it once a week at least.
Yeah, I'd
So
like to. I think things will slow down. I'll have a little bit more time. Got a little medical thing I got to get taken care
yeah,
of, and
but
I'll
that'll
be
make
on
it
a
easy for you to sit at the computer a lot.
yeah,
Maybe we have to make you a little map so you can lay in the bed and do it. But
do a little physical therapy.
yep,
Now I should be on my
you should
feet
be
trying
up.
to
Yep,
get it worked out. I'm having knee surgery.
yeah.
Um, had a little
Hey, but you held it
dent.
off for a while. You stayed it
Uh,
off, having it done for a while.
yeah, I won't put that on the video, but it wasn't me putting it off.
Yeah.
There was
Oh,
some
oh, I
red
got
tape.
you. I
There was
got
some
you.
red tape.
I thought you were trying to see if physical therapy would fix it, or they wanted
Mm,
physical therapy to fix it.
yeah, they wanted physical
Gotcha.
therapy.
Well, I mean, I can get
Um,
that. So,
anyhow,
all right. So let's talk about. I have finally gotten Purple Steel to work. I think I can still refine my deck. I haven't posted anywhere. I'll throw the link together and post it up here. Right now I'm running quite a few large shift targets and their lower stuff. I think I can get rid of one. Right now I have a Robin Hood option, a John Silver option, a Tinkerbell option,
mhm,
and I think I'm running a big Ursula and big Elsa, but I only run one of them, so I think some of them can go. But there are four cards outside of the genie, which we all know Genie's getting a lot of play.
yeah, that
Outside of Genie, there are four cards I'm now running that I feel like really are what make my deck work. And it's not, I don't think, two of them I think are pretty standard, but the other two I don't think so. So first one I'm running is Calhoun, and
yes,
I'll put the big version of the card up there whenever
yeah.
anyway. I'm
Some
running
of that green don't
Calhoun.
show up with
Oh, I
the
didn't think. I was wondering why
chroma
she looked
key.
so weird, but which she has resist one, two cost uninkable, and during your turn, whenever you banish a character, you gain two lore. Just
Yes,
a good two drop.
yeah,
Her and Smee in my deck really work well together. The other card, which you and I've talked about before, I don't know if we ever talked about it on here, is that Scar.
yes. I like the scar. It's hard to fit in because of the uninkable status,
Yeah.
but the
But
rush and stats,
yeah, I mean, anytime you can drop a character in, rush him at 7/4, there's not much he can't deal with. Let's be real
right?
here. He can deal with a location, he can deal with, and he's a 4/4. So there's a high likelihood he's gonna stick around for two turns.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're challenging, he's gonna stick around for two turns. You pair him with something like that gives him a little resist, you never know. Man, these folks keep sorry, y'all. I promise it's anyway. But you pair him with somebody that gives him a little resist, who knows what you can do with him.
Yeah, and the odds of the crackback taking out something else, it should end up being a 2-for-1.
Yeah,
I think he's a slept on card. He may not be a quote unquote good card, but I don't think he's a bad card.
no. And then the other two that I'm running is the John Silver package.
Yeah,
Um, I have had this guy here. The only problem I have that gets him taken out is playing Amber if they're running Greatest Criminal Mind.
yeah,
I mean, that's really the only thing that can deal with him in one turn, unless you're sending because he's a resist too.
yeah.
So he
Six
sticks
six
around,
resist
and
2.
then he's also to me an aggro killer. If you make it to turn 5 or 8 and still playing aggro, the feature that he um on the start of your turn, anybody that's ready gets dealt 1 damage.
Yes.
So that works. I also like this 3-drop one because he keeps me alive.
Yep.
And he keeps not only keeps Smee alive, but Smee can quest if they only have one character on the board that might take Smee out. he can make them not attack the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think like purple still. I finally got the tools that I need. I need to refine my deck so it's more predictable, which that's always my case. I want more characters. I just want to see more characters pop
Yeah.
up.
Consistency in deck building is a big deal.
Yeah.
I say that with also committing the hypocrisy of not doing that myself, but
Right. Or running more than
consistent.
60 cards.
I think some people are softening on that.
Yeah.
60 is ideal, but not having a sideboard, being able to tech a couple cards, especially if you're just playing locals.
Yep.
Being able to tech a few cards that you know that you're gonna, play against, isn't a bad thing.
Right.
I wouldn't take it to a big tournament where you're just blind all the way around.
Right. No, but I'm glad, you know me, I've tried purple still since we started playing in set two. Because set
Yeah,
one, we weren't playing locals here. We didn't start playing until January. We're right at a year playing. I think we played our
yeah.
first stuff at Izzy's in January, didn't we?
It was New Year's Eve,
Yeah, it
or
may have been
I think
something
it
like
was the
that.
weekend of New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
I think we did that learn to play.
so I really think I've been trying to play purple still since then. I've strayed a few times, but now I don't know why. That's just what I like. It's my play style, the removal. I like that style. So, do you have any
It
cards that you've really enjoyed this set?
uh I I've liked Go Go Tamago.
Go Tommy. Yep.
I think I did talk about her when we first, well, I guess our last video when
Yeah.
this set released. She was one of the cards that I was liking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Genie has been really a big deal. And Maui Shark have probably been the three that I've really kind of been playing with most. Um, I haven't really played much. I did do the green purple list. Made a few changes from Artabax's list,
Uh-huh.
and it did well. It went into purple steel. I played you a few times,
Yeah.
and it was, basically who won the dice roll.
Yeah. Well, I'm
So
finding that now that the meta is so widespread, that's coming into play a lot. It's the
yeah,
dice roll. But unless especially our locals where everybody's they're decently good,
hmm
you know. The dice roll's huge. I don't know what it'll be like if we ever go to another DLC, but I mean that was the issue I had when I went to Texas was if I won the dice roll, I won, if I went first, but I was in the draw every time in the two match setup.
yeah.
So
But so far, I mean, the first wave of this set has been, all aggro, and you're kind of seeing that now with the Amber Steel aggro list kind of
yep,
topping things recently.
yep,
Green purple was topping, but then the steel list started showing up, and green purple was kind of suffering because everybody was teching against it, and so now
yep.
you're probably going to see red blue or red purple kind of take over.
Again. So, but those are consistent. Red purple's always been consistent. Red blue wasn't consistent with the last set.
Yeah.
So
The only
I'm
problem with
really
red blue is it's so slow into aggro.
yeah. But I didn't see aggro at the big stuff. But maybe we will start seeing it.
And
My
that's
deck,
typical.
my deck's got an aggro feel to it if I play that route.
Yeah.
It's a slower aggro. It's more of a mid-range aggro, but it still has the aggro evasive quality to it.
Yeah, that makes it more of a mid-range
Mid-range, yeah.
deck.
But then I've
Because you
also got the
can,
stuff at the end to clinch out if I need to.
well, that's what mid-range is you
Yeah,
have the aggro element and the control element. You don't do one or the other most.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Kind of
a
go back and
control
forth.
deck is all control and an aggro deck is all aggro.
Yeah,
Mid-range is in between.
yeah. Well,
And I played a little Christmas deck, green
how'd you do
green
with it?
red. I did pretty well. It did do well against your clear cut meta deck in the Amber Steel Songs deck. But I had a lot of things that were susceptible to Storm Rage on and those songs. Nothing could stick for long enough. But it was a fun deck. It was a green red actions kind of discard deck.
Hmm.
It was some fun little jank to play.
I always love that when you call a deck jank. I don't know, it just tickles me when you're like, "Mm, that little jank deck." It's just the
Well,
way
I
you
mean,
say it just makes me smile.
I don't mean it like it's a deck I made, and
Yeah.
it's not tier 2 or above, so it's kind of janky.
Yeah.
It did pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, I had good draws at the time. Like the cards I was pulling, I saw what I needed to see when I needed to see it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the game. That's the way the game goes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
But I think
So,
there's nothing in this set that I'm like, yeah, I've got to play this.
yeah.
Like set 1 and 2, I was like, yeah, it was a bandwagon, but red purple was good. Um, and then I drifted to green steel,
You stuck
and
there for a while.
yeah, well, I was good playing it.
Yeah. I mean, it was your style. You played that style really well.
Yes, yeah, it was
I
things that
what
matched my style.
what I've enjoyed this set is I feel like, and it may have been purposeful, but it may have been that whole designers not working together, but is I feel like this gave people that maybe didn't have as many set one cards, it gave them some tools to compete.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, because
there are,
I'm taking some of my set one stuff out. I'm not running as many of those cards anymore. I mean, Big Tink is still going to be a staple. Like she's one that I feel like I could use more of, especially the way I'm playing this deck with the added 1s and 2 hits here and there. I think it's something that I could really use more of. But
but she's not absolutely
no,
necessary in every steel list like she was set 3, 4.
yeah. Or be prepared. I haven't played any. Nobody's playing red around here really much, but I feel like now there's so many tools to play around it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I think they've done a good job in this game of making sure that even when cards aren't available, people have some options.
yeah, you've seen the influx of the bounce burn kind of decks
Yeah,
where they're not sticking on the field. Like you don't have to have a board presence to win.
yeah,
It helps, but you can bounce things out and get things from them leaving, playing them again. If they stick on the board and they get removed, it's beneficial also.
yep,
And then you have Pete from last set, some other cards that really kind of help. The power creep has really kind of kept set 1 from really being necessary, and that's why you see some prices. The collectors are what's keeping the first chapter stuff expensive.
yeah.
But the only thing that's really super expensive from the first chapter is Rapunzel, and they haven't really matched her ability yet.
Yeah. Okay, so me, Lorcana's my first. Tell me define power creep for me, because I've read it a lot, but I never really understood what it meant.
So each set, like you can't just keep things the same. You have to have a little bit of better card each set, a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better.
Uh-huh.
Eventually, the cards in the new sets are going to be so much better, you don't need the previous sets.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
So you're going to have something a little bit stronger each time because they have to make it new
They have to make you want to buy
editions.
the cards.
Right.
It can't just be the
Exactly.
same card with a different picture.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
That's why you're seeing
Gotcha.
things like Calhoun. You're seeing things like Genie, 2 for evasive, quest for 2,
It
draws
replaces
you a
Rabbit.
card. Right.
Yeah.
So the abilities aren't exactly the same, but what was needed is on the card
Yeah.
and makes it
Yep.
better.
Yep. 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 Okay, that makes sense. I don't know what I thought power creep was,
Yeah,
but I thought it was making a card that was too powerful or something. But I mean, I guess in a way it is,
it
but
is.
it's
But you're
it's
gonna
it's
each
washing
set.
the old sets. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So, you think there's any cards that are going to be banned anymore? Like, you think we'll get another Bucky
I don't even think Bucky needed to be banned this time
early?
around.
Yeah.
There's so much that would take out Bucky now or prevent him from doing what he needed to do. I think they went a little heavy-handed,
Yeah,
and
they slapped Bucky around real good. They didn't just fix him. They morphed him.
which there's no even really good discard set this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, discard's kind of slow this set because of
Yeah.
all the burn decks and the aggro decks.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
I think they went a little bit overboard with that. They could have
Well,
waited one set and
seen what happened.
yeah.
Well, I think he was making a lot of not. I'm not use that word. I think he was making a lot of players upset. Maybe that's why they banned it. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean it made it not fun, but
Yeah,
nobody was willing to make changes to their deck to go against it
yeah.
because they were scared that
They were gonna play something
what
else.
yes, they would be susceptible to something else.
Yep.
But I mean, there were calls last set about people getting rid of Hiram because Red Blue was doing so good, but now Red Blue's not doing as good.
It's too slow now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you'll probably see people want Daisy Duck to be banned.
You can deal with her. You can deal with
That's
her.
what I'm saying is like you have to be willing to deal with the cards you're going to see versus just calling for it to be banned.
You can deal with her on turn 3 or turn 4. They may get 6
You
more
can
off
deal with
of
her on
her.
turn 2 with the right
Yeah, with
text.
the right. I mean, for me, purple still. I got Fox gets rid of her.
Right.
So I mean, or Calhoun and somebody else on turn 3 gets rid of her. I mean,
Yeah.
you get 2 lore off of it, so it's not. I'm
Uh,
not so worried about it. Now, if you get multiple ducks on the table, then I get a little worried. But one,
yeah.
it's not a big deal anymore.
And sometimes
So,
she helps certain decks. Like if you have more characters than items or songs or whatever, she's a free draw option.
yeah. Hey, we're running out of time, Jason, so we may
All
have
right,
to,
we'll wrap it up.
Yep. I think we covered a lot today, though. This is gonna be a
Yeah, it was
longer
a good
video,
video.
but we covered a lot. Um, y'all all out there have a really, 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 really great holidays, great New
Yep.
Year. Play some Lorcana. I'm hoping to go to Disney for a day, maybe 2, while we're in Florida. We'll see. Gotta check the budgets.
Yeah.
So, um, but y'all have a great rest of your holiday season.
Yep.
So,
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
maybe we can play some when I get back, Jason.
Yep.
All right,
Have
y'all.
fun.
This is the Lorcana Dads. We are over and out. See y'all later. Merry
Bye.
Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Kwanzaa. Feliz Navidad.
Now don't forget to smash that like button.
And hit that share for our friends on the other side.
And don't forget to turn on all those bell notifications.
And we'll cease you on the next video.